Hey guys, so for this video, as you can see, I have no eye makeup on, but I'm going to be filming a video today for you guys that's been so highly requested over the past few weeks, and I kind of stalled on doing it for a little while because I really wanted to make sure that I could bring an amazing video for you guys. You know what I mean? I didn't want it to be half-assed. I really wanted to take my time, write down some notes, and make sure I get all my tips out there for you. So for today, I decided to do a talk-through tutorial on beginners eyeshadow kind of tips. So I'm going to be doing my eyeshadow very, I don't want to say simple because I love full-on glam dramatic makeup. So this is not going to be like an eye makeup tutorial that's great for beginners in the sense where it's going to be like a very soft, neutral, natural type of looking eye. It's not going to be that. It's going to be a makeup, an eye makeup beginners tutorial in the sense where I'm going to be giving you tips on how to do all these, not all these different techniques, because I want to keep the look pretty simple in the sense where we're probably going to only be doing 2 or 3 steps, but I want to kind of break it down and give you guys different tips on eyeshadow and how to do eye makeup. But if I'm doing it too dramatic for you guys can always swap out certain steps, skip certain steps, and stuff like that. So just keep that in mind. For example, I am going to be using lashes in this video, and that's definitely not really too beginners friendly, but you just don't have to use lashes. You know what I mean? Like, I just basically want to focus this video on beginners tips for eyeshadow techniques. So I am going to be using my Makeup Geek shadows for this look, and I do have an affiliate link to them down below. If you use it, I do get commission. Thank you so much in advance. But I love Makeup Geek shadows. I think they're very beginners friendly because they're awesome quality, but they're very cheap. You only pay $6 for the little pan, and you can create your own palette like I did. And yeah, it's awesome. So I will leave it down below. So the first thing that you always want to do, and I cannot stress how important this is, I honestly can't, if you do not prime your eyes, your eyeshadow will not come out as pigmented, it will not be as blended, it won't last long, it just will not look as on point as you would want it to be, you know what I mean? So I like to use the MAC paint pot. They have soft ochre and painterly. Painterly is more of a beige neutral pink, and soft ochre is more of a very warm yellow kind of shade. I like to use the yellow shade. I just find that it helps to brighten the eyes. So I like to just take it on my finger and I like to pat it on. I do not like to rub it just because this is a step that I do every single day. So if I'm rubbing constantly every day on my eye area, it can, you know, tug and cause wrinkles for the future. So I like to just go ahead and pat it on. And using my finger just blends it out very nicely. Like, it honestly is better than any other brush. So I love to use my finger. What I also like to do is take the product on the lower lash line. A lot of the times people can forget to put it on the lower lash line, but we are going to be adding eyeshadow there. So you want to make sure that you're priming that area as well. Since this area is more small, you might want to use a brush. But for me, I like a very like smoked out lower lash line. So I kind of take it down further, so it doesn't matter if I just use my big old finger. But the other thing that I like to do, which is such a good tip, like honestly, this is very important as well. I like to take the same shade that I use to set my under eye or to highlight my under eye and just put it on top of that primer to set the primer. Because the primer is a cream product, it does need to be set as well, because if you just go straight ahead with your eyeshadow, the eyeshadow is going to cling onto the primer because it's going to be kind of sticky, whereas if you set it with the powder, the eyeshadow is just going to smooth right past it and look flawless. So I like to take my Kat Von D Shade and Light contour palette and just take this middle shade right here, take my Real Techniques setting brush, and just put that all over the lid. Just to, again, set that primer. So now to get started with the eyeshadows, I don't know exactly what shades I'm going to be using or what type of look I'm going for. I'm mainly just not, like, this is not going to be like a video that's gonna have like this most amazing creative eye look. I probably will end up doing a similar look to what I always do, but this is just to give tips. So I just want to go ahead and pretty much do mainly probably a regular neutral smoky eye to show you guys some cool tips. The first thing you always want to do is start out with some good eye brushes. I cannot express how important some good eye brushes is. I honestly can't express it. I do have a full My Favorite Brushes video for you guys. I'll leave that down below. I go through what my favorite eye brushes are, so please check that out. But I will leave the ones that I use in today's video listed down below. Most of them are from Sigma. I just love Sigma brushes. I also am an affiliate. I will leave it down below as well as a coupon code. So the first thing that I'm going to use, and you guys are going to see me use, is basically just a straight edge. You can take like a business card, a straight paper, anything like that. This is just the end of one of my cardboard lash boxes. I'm just going to take this and use it as a straight edge for the outer corner of my eye. This is a really good tip. You can also use tape, but this is just easy. Sometimes I use tape, sometimes I use this, so it's whatever you feel comfortable with. So the first thing that I'm going to do is actually take a transition shade. A transition shade is basically a shade that you want to put the first thing before you do anything else right into kind of that upper crease area, a little bit above your crease. This is going to be a shade that just helps to blend harsher shades in a way. So instead of just going straight in with a dark color in the crease, putting a transition shade before is going to help that dark color have something to blend out into, so it's going to look seamless. Typically you want to use a lighter shade for the transition shade just to give it a little bit of something. I am going to take Makeup Geek's Creme Brulee, which is just a really pretty light to medium, kind of very warm shade. So the first thing I'm doing is taking my straight edge and I'm just going to pop that right into the crease in circular motions. I want you to keep in mind that with any eyeshadow application, wherever you place your brush first is where the most product will end up. So you don't want to start right here because you kind of want the most product to be in that outer corner area. So wherever you first place your brush is where that most product is going to be. Another thing that is a really good tip is to keep in mind that what I like to do is only take a little bit of shadow first. So I don't like to go in with a ton of shadow on my brush. I like to just go in with a little bit and then build it up. When you actually build up that intensity, it really helps, just because instead of having a ton of eyeshadow to blend out, you only have to do a little bit at a time, so it makes it so much easier. If you guys watch my tutorials, you'll notice that I do that a lot. I'll only take a tiny bit of the shadow and work it in, and then I'll go back with it, work it in. As you can see now, we've laid down this very light kind of transition shade. The next thing you typically want to do is go in with a crease shade. Keep in mind, these are very generic techniques and rules. Like, every eye look is probably going to be different. Watch my tutorials and you'll see different techniques that I do, but this is, like I said, just a basic kind of beginner's tips eyeshadow. So the next thing we're going to do is go in with a crease shadow. I'm actually going to use a Morphe brush. This is one of their new ones. This is the M513 brush, and it's a nice fluffy brush, but it kind of comes to a tapered end. I'm going to take a little bit of Cocoa Bear. Cocoa Bear is right here. It's just a very rich brown shade. And you're just going to want to start in that crease, and again, take a little bit of product and you can build it up afterwards. Now, you don't always have to take it in the inner corner, but for today's look I am. But like I said, wherever you place the brush first is going to come up the most product. I don't want to start in that inner corner because you want it to seamlessly blend in the inner corner. You don't want it to be harsh, so you want to start on the outer edge. And again, just windshield wiper motions. Honestly, good brushes just make the huge difference in eyeshadow application. I am kind of craving an even darker color in the crease, so I think I'm going to use a Brown Sugar by Makeup Geek. And for this, I'm going to use the Sigma E25 brush. I actually just got a brand new one in the mail, which is kind of like a travel size, but this is the E25. And I'm going to take the shade Brown Sugar. I think it's called Brown Sugar, and it's just this one right here. So we're going to take some of that, and because it is a darker color, I'm only taking a little bit first, and then I can add some more afterwards. And I'm actually going to take it and put it all the way in the outer corner area. So we're packing it on, and I'm just going to take a mirror so that I can see into, but you're just going to pack that in the outer corner. The E25 brush by Sigma is one of my favorite outer corner brushes. So you're going to take that and work it in. I remember as a beginner I used to have a lot of trouble with outer corner shades. I never knew how to really apply them. What I like to do now is just pack it on first, and then you want to take it and start blending it upwards and blend it into the crease. So a really good tip is to go in with that transition brush that you used before and just blend everything out. You want to make sure that you blend so that there isn't so many harsh lines, you know what I mean? Blending is definitely one of my #1 tips. You always want to blend out your eyeshadow. Whatever you put on your eye, you don't want to just put it on and leave it. You always want to go on the edges and go around it and make sure it kind of seamlessly falls into another shade. So that is pretty much it for the creases, for the crease and outer corner. Now what you can do is apply a lid shade. You can choose whether you want to go matte or shimmery. I think I might just go with a little bit of a shimmer, but nothing too crazy. So I'm actually going to use this shade right here. I forgot what it's called, but I'll leave it down below, by Makeup Geek. I think it's called Grandstand or something. No, Magic Act? Yeah, I think it's Magic Act. And I'm just taking a little bit of it, and I'm going to put that all over the lid. I like to use these nice flat brushes for my lid shades. And you can take your outer corner brush, go back in, and blend this area so that you're kind of blending the lid shade together with the outer corner and with the other shadows. Again, you can go ahead and take that fluffy brush for your transition and very lightly just go over everything. Now for the lower lash line. Applying eyeshadow on the lower lash line is something that beginners are definitely not used to. It can kind of be like, really, you're putting shadow down there? And some people find that it looks weird at first. It definitely does look weird at first, but it honestly completes an eye look like you would not believe. What I like to do is for the lower lash line is basically take the same shades that I used in the crease or the transition or the outer corner, whichever you want, and put that on the lower lash line. Or you can take a different one. But what I'm going to do for today is take my pencil brush by Sigma. This is the E30. I'm going to take the shade Latte, which is actually a shade that I didn't use on the top. So you can mix and match. But I'm going to take that shade and just put it on my lower lash line and really smoke it out. You want to just work in circular windshield wiper motions again. And it will look kind of weird at first if you're not used to doing this step. But like I said, I find that it just really, really completes an eye look. And you see how that just helps complete the eye look and make the bottom and the top kind of match? And there you go. You definitely don't have to apply as much as I did, but I like to really smoke it out. So the next step is to, of course, add some liner if you wish. I am going to be doing winged liner, mascara, and lashes. I'm going to do it off camera just because I want to focus this look on just the shadow. If you guys do want me to do an updated winged liner tutorial, let me know because it is kind of different than my last one. So I will do that, but I am going to be adding some liner. I pretty much always wear liner. I almost forgot, but before I do that, I am going to be adding an inner corner color. I'm going to take Makeup Geek's White Lies and Vanilla Bean and mix them together and just apply it right in this area. This is just going to help brighten this area and really open the eye up. And I'm also going to apply it on the brow bone. Actually, for the lid shade, I'm going to take a little bit of Shimma Shimma and mix it in with the color that I put before, just to make it a little bit more white and less gold, just because I'm not really feeling the gold today. So now I'm going to go ahead and do my winged liner, mascara, and all of that. So that is pretty much it for my beginners kind of eyeshadow makeup tutorial tips and tricks. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if there's anything else you want me to do down below, any other kind of tips and tricks types of videos, any other beginners videos, let me know. And I will also leave the other I can't even talk. I will also leave the other beginners videos I've done down below as well as links to everything and all of the info that you might need in the description box. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give me a like, thumbs up, because it just helps me know which videos you like better. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll of course see you guys in my next one. Bye guys. Mwah. Will be a mess. So you want to just keep that minimal product that's already on the brush that you lined your lips with and apply it. After you have like that very thin layer of the liquid lipstick on, you can go in